Spelivia getting a sexy time. Olivia getting a sexy time. And no, gang. Pulling up in the cabin. It's lit. Episode 6, season 4. We headed back to the cabin because we need a redo, honey. We going back. Bring that back. And let's get it right this time. In this video, I'm breaking down season 4, episode 6. I'm going to go through the synopsis as well as give you my preview, talk about what we've seen in the trailer, and what you can expect. If you want to know, keep it locked and let's get into it. Also, if you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe right now because I know that you are going to enjoy this video. You need to join the tribe, hit subscribe, and turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss any of my All-American content. It's your good sis, Erica Vane, and I'm, something like a big deal in these All-American streets, talking about everything that you want to talk about, what you want to know, getting to the bottom of it, and having amazing conversations while doing it. So come on and join me. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I typically would do a synopsis breakdown video, but I didn't get a chance to do it in time for this, so I'm going to combine it with my preview video, and now we have visuals to go with it as well, so I can give you a little bit more accurate speculations. Let me go ahead and read to y'all what the synopsis for the episode is, and then we're going to talk about the trailer. Out of sync. Everyone is excited for senior skip day, and Spencer plans a romantic getaway at the cabin for he and Olivia. But when the gang shows, nothing goes as he had planned. Surprising news makes Jordan and Simone realize they might not be as prepared for their new reality as they had hoped. Now that Patience is back from tour, she and Coop can't seem to get on the same page when it comes to their relationship. Meanwhile, Billy, Grace, Laura, and Principal Carter team up with an unlikely ally as they go on an adventure in the halls of South Crenshaw High to track down relics of the past. Alright, let's go ahead and get the biggest thing out the way. Spencer has a plan for him and Olivia to get some alone time, while he is no longer leaving Los Angeles because what? In episode 5, we got to see that Billy Bean got him up out of that horrible Toledo deal, checked the Toledo State head coach, sent him packing back to the Midwest and into obscurity, and I'm sure back to mediocrity. Good day, sir. And he has signed with Golden Angeles University, so he won't be actually leaving Los Angeles. We don't have the fear of them actually having a long distance relationship. We still can definitely see that, they want a little bit more time together and they want to be able to enjoy the rest of their senior year, because even though they might not be going to separate schools and separate states, once you get into college, it's going to get real. And being a football player in college is intense. Spencer is definitely probably going to have to go to school or at least go on campus at the summer before his freshman year to start training and all of that jazz. So anyway, basically they just want to get some alone time in. They deserve, y'all. Spelivia definitely deserves, and they've been given what was supposed to be gave this entire season so far. So I'm excited to see this. However, their little solo time, their little me time, their little, Spelivia time is interrupted because it's also lined up with senior skip day, and the whole gang ain't got nothing else better to do but to bother them. So they pop up at the cabin, which ultimately sets us up for basically a redo. Last season, we saw everything hit the fan. All of the truths spilled out of the closet last season in episode 6 when they all came to the cabin. Initially, Spencer went there to make peace and process things that were happening within his life and to get away, but then everybody showed up at the cabin and then all these secrets started to fall out. Asher and Olivia's relationship ended in this. The beginning of the end for Spencer and Layla that carried on to the next episode in reference to him finally coming clean about what happened between him and Olivia. All of those things happened in that episode at the cabin, and now we see them coming back to the cabin on a more lighter note. While I definitely feel like I wanted to see Spencer and Olivia have their alone time, be able to reconnect, I'm excited because even though they're going to have their alone time or they were being interrupted, y'all, I still don't think that they're ready to do the whole sex thing just yet. They really just want to be able to connect and spend some time together. I am excited to see the group come together and kind of redo it, because a cabin is such a really great setting. It's secluded, it's nice, it's fresh air, they can really be grounded together. I said this on my live. If you missed it, I did a live after show of episode 5. Go and check it out. I'll link it in the description box down below so that you can see it after this video. But I talked about how I'm looking forward for this cabin episode to give more so of Friendsgiving vibes, because everybody is cool for the most part. Asher and Layla have reconnected and are close friends, even though they just smashed each other this season. Everybody is cool with Spencer and Olivia being together, even though it ain't their business, even if they weren't cool with it. You know, Jordan and Simone are figuring out what this looks like. He's now committed to go to Angela's. We know that Simone is going to Brixton in the ATL, so they're already probably in the background preparing for what their long distance relationship is going to look like. Everybody seems grounded and cool and happy, so it seems like it would make for a perfect opportunity for everybody to get away to the cabin, into the woods, and just have a good time. Last time JJ brought the fun with the porta party. Now he done got the porta party an upgrade into a whole Sprinter van full of a party. So he's going to continue to, you know, try to infuse the fun and diffuse some of the drama that it seems like is going to occur. So it seems like this would be a great time for everybody. I think there's just going to be the little nuances within relationships that's going to be the problem. So the next line in the synopsis says, surprising news makes Jordan and Simone realize they might not be as prepared for their new reality as they had hoped. And I think this is speaking to them actually doing the whole long distance thing. They are still fine in their relationship. However, they, I guess, maybe haven't talked about what this is actually going to look like. And in the actual trailer, we get to see Simone saying, well, can we just live in the moment? Can we be present in the now? Because they probably haven't actually disclosed to each other or actually communicated to each other, what is it going to look like when we are both on two separate campuses? Like, they decided not to get remarried or to annul their marriage so that they could be free to really experience life as they should in the age group that they're in as they go off to college. But it doesn't seem like they've actually communicated anything else in that regard. And maybe Jordan has some expectations that Simone is not necessarily privy to. I could definitely see Simone getting called to come to Brixton early, whether it's for like some tennis training, or her aunt might invite her down like for the summer to be able to experience and get familiar with the campus before she gets started. Like, I definitely could see Simone being pulled away sooner than they planned, and this could potentially cause a problem. Now that Jordan has secured a spot on a college team, he has more brain space to be able to worry about Simone or think about that. He's been really focused on like accepting the idea of going to JUCO after not getting any offers and understanding or getting better clarity around why people don't feel like he's great. Now that all of that has been put to rest for him, he has more capacity to worry, and I definitely think that he's pointing that worry in Simone's direction. Now, also the little nuanced drama that we're going to see is between Patience and Coop, and we kind of have been seeing basically like it bubble up, like the water is bubbling for them. Like, it is definitely boiling, and I feel like in this episode it might actually spill out. I have been waiting with bated breath for when Patience is actually going to break up with Coop, and it kind of feels like it's going to be in episode 6, because in the synopsis it's saying that they can't seem to get on the same page when it comes to their relationship, and it's like, well, what else is there to get on the same page about? Patience has been very, very vocal. Coop, you know, time and time again kind of puts herself first and then has to like realize that she's wrong, double back and apologize, and that can get kind of exhausting. And ultimately, just from the outside looking in, it does feel a little bit like their relationship is in a place where it's kind of stagnant and a little bit smothering. So they might need to go ahead and separate so that they can grow and do other things and really find happiness separate and maybe come back together later on. But at this point, I feel like we're kind of like holding on to Patience and Coop because that's all we've really known. But it might be time for them to separate, and I definitely think that Patience deserves a little bit better because Coop be tripping. And then meanwhile, Billy, Grace, Laura, and Principal Carter team up. Y'all, we about to get the adults having a double date. Listen, last season when they had the whole, you know, Carter and Billy drinking at school and reminiscing and competing with each other, and then they had Denise, Laura, and Grace, you know, out frolicking as the moms. I love those scenes. So it feels like we're about to get that again with this episode, because we're going to get like these little double date vibes with these two. And then I think the unlikely ally is going to be Denise Rivers again. So I am so excited and anticipating their moments of like them just frolicking through school, going down memory lane, Laura learning different things about, you know, Billy and when he was in school or living in Crenshaw, and Principal Carter really, you know, dropping into this friend group a little bit better, and maybe Grace and Laura getting even closer because they have started to, you know, really establish a bond. I think that they are going to provide a really great light-hearted fun in this episode, and I cannot wait to see it. All right, y'all, that is my full preview as well as synopsis breakdown for episode 6. It's your turn. Jump down in the comment section and tell me what you think is going to happen in next week's episode 6 of season 4. If you're new here and you made it all the way through this video and have yet to hit subscribe, go ahead and do it now. You got a little time and you like the video. Go ahead. Don't forget to turn on your bell notifications because YouTube be tripping and you want to know every time I post a new All-American video. I promise you are going to love it here, and I will see you in the next amazing All-American video. Bye.